After 600 and 900, we have 500. Guys, this is BeQuiet Light-Base 500 LX, which means that it comes with three side 120mm PWM addressable RGB reverse fans, and we have one 120 Lightwings LX 120 PWM addressable RGB regular fan. Now at the back you can place 140, so you don't have to worry about that, but it comes with 120, so I just want to clear the air about that. But regarding this case, what I really enjoyed is building the visual aspect, the cable management, hiding of these fans at the bottom part of the bottom part of the chassis, and tempered glass. The way everything connects, it's just brilliant, and I'm really digging this case. Really, compared to 600, which was somewhere in the middle, and then 900, which was really extreme. But the 500, if you're looking for something that is just properly, sized, everything fits inside, huge GPU, 360 radiator, you have enough fans, and specifically that orientation of the side fans, that is brilliant. Now, we're going to deep dive into the Light-Base 500 LX, and we're going to check it out, what we have right here. So, regarding that, we have loads of Lightwings LX fans, three reversed at the bottom, three on the AAO, three on the side, and one here at the back. These six are intakes and the four are exhaust, so take that into consideration regarding the thermals and everything that I'm gonna give you regarding the benchmarks. But first we have to go with this bottom part because it's just so cool. So what you have right here is covering up the whole visual aspect of the fans, and you have the holes that help you connect the cables through the back. But that's not all, because you don't have to worry about connecting the bottom part of the motherboard, because you have two additional holes right here to push through the cables and access all the connection part, which is really straightforward, so there's no fuss about that. And there's also a dust filter that you can move from the front. You don't have to open literally anything, you just move it from the front, clean it up, place it back, you're done. That's good. At the top we don't have a dust filter, we have a perforated mesh steel part, and on the side we have something quite unique. I haven't seen this at all, but it comes with Lightwings LX, but in configuration as it comes on the AIO. So what you do here is you daisy chain the fans. They are already pre-daisy chained, and you have a top part which has a screw. You unscrew it, and then what you do is you just pull all three fans at the same time upwards. Of course, you have to detach the cables and everything all together to pull them out, but this pulls out three 120mm fans and a dust filter, which can be easily cleaned. And that's actually quite a cool idea. The angle is perfect for intake because it gives fresh air for the GPU, gives fresh air for the AIO, and kind of creates that airflow through the chassis because it bounces off the tempered glass and pushes all the air through that. That's just simply brilliant. What you get with this is some sort of a opening on the side, which they left for the I/O panel. Now on the I/O panel, what you have is a reset button, 3.5mm 4-pole jack, one USB 3.0, then you have the power out button, then you have another USB 3.0 Type A, of course, then you have USB Type C, and finally you have the LED button, because at the back what we have is a PWM addressable RGB controller, which needs to be connected to your motherboard with the PWM header and the 3.5 volts addressable RGB header, and of course SATA power directly to your power supply to power up everything. This is quite nice. And what you do, and I think you saw a couple of glimpses of this case at Gamescom this year, you have the possibility, since this case supports back connect, to remove that part where you can place a 2.5-inch SSD. You have that controller, right? So you can push the power supply from the bottom part at the back compartment to the top if you're going with the back connect motherboard. This allows you to connect literally everything. You still have that 2.5-inch SSD and you still have that controller. If you're going with the motherboard that, such as I did, then you leave it as it is. You still get the possibility for a nice cable management because the bracket that holds that 2.5-inch SSD and the controller is so separated from the motherboard tray that you have loads of space for cable management. Now, moving forward, you can place a 360 radiator at the top, 240 eventually, but honestly, I wouldn't even consider going with a 240 in this type of case because it would just look hideous. To be honest, it would just look hideous. So you could do that. At the back, as I said, you could go with 140. Supports back connect. You can go up to ATX motherboards and fairly long GPUs. Now, on the side, as I said, we have IO ports, and you go at the back and you're considering how is the cable management done. Well, it's actually quite good because all the cables are tangled up together, pushed through the bottom part. They're not visible in any scenario here on the front, and the same thing goes for the cables for the fans. So it's already pre-connected, pre-done. You don't have to worry about anything. The only thing that you have to do is basically place the fans here at the bottom part of the chassis. So regarding the back side, you have a couple of Velcro ties. You can also use zip ties to connect with those extrusions for the zip ties and basically reorganize the cables, even though everything is nicely thought through, which gives you an option for a clean cable management. And this is what we're after, because even if you place the power supply here at the bottom, you use the extension cables, you can still create a outstanding cable management. Now everything is on pegs, so the side tempered glass, the top steel panel, the back steel panel, which is fully perforated, so you get fresh air from the whole compartment at the back if you for the power supply and of course for the side fans. But the front tempered glass is held by two screws on top and one on the inner part here. And you have to be careful while removing it because it actually has some sort of a steel plate with a certain angle that is covering up and blends in with the fans on the side or the steel panel on the side. Now, when you do remove that, I have to give you this notice because this is quite important so you don't break your case. This steel on top where you place your AAO is actually very flexible. I don't know what's with that, but you can bend it quite easily. So if you don't touch it, nothing will happen. You can place a 360 radiator, and the additional fixture of that top plate is coming from the front tempered glass because, well, as I said, you have two screws here on the side, and that steel pole that is attached to the tempered glass gives additional fixture to that top part. So when you place the front tempered glass, this top part won't move whatsoever. But I do have to give you that idea about the top part because, well, it's important. So you don't by accident lean on the case and the whole thing collapses at the top. Everything else is sturdy, solid, outstanding. I have literally nothing else to say. Now, when we go here with the PCI expansion slots and everything regarding that, you have two screws to remove to access the possibility to place the GPU. That's quite normal, right? But the whole part right here is fully open, so you don't have any bars in between the expansion slots, which means that in the accessory box, you have a possibility to mount additional, let's say, bracket which you can use for placing a GPU in vertical position. Of course, you do need to buy a riser cable separately, but there is a possibility to place a GPU vertically. Now, I didn't go with that because I really wanted to go with the stock position and test it out. Full volume is 49.6 liters. You can go with maximum 10 fans, which means either two 140 at the top or three 120. On the side, you can go with three 120. On the rear, you can go with one 120 or one 140. And on the bottom, you can go with three 120. For the radiator support, on the side, you can actually go with 120 or 240, which maybe for some GPUs, if you have that type of GPU. On top, 120, 240, 280, 360. And on the rear, you can go with 120. Maximum dimensions for the power supply, excluding and including bottom fans, can be up to maximum 200 millimeters. For the CPU tower cooler, this is outstanding because the maximum cooler height is 185 millimeters, and I'm really digging this thing. And for the GPU, maximum length is 400 millimeters, which I think is more than enough. Now, since I'm really that satisfied with the whole building procedure, cable management, visual aspect of these fans at the bottom, nicely hidden, cable rerouting from the bottom, from the top, on the side as well, IO ports, side fans, removing the side fans as well. This is also quite cool. We need to go with benchmarks because, well, I'm quite satisfied. We're having Pure Loop 3LX cooling down the AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D, and we have the PNY GeForce RTX 5080 addressable RGB Epic X graphic card. So AIDA 64 Extreme Edition CPU went up to 85 degrees, clock speed is 4775 megahertz, and I would say that this is quite good. I have nothing to add here. It's quite solid. The AIDA tends to go up and down with the clock speed. Thermals are also quite variable, so I won't go too much into that. The GPU is 62 degrees, which is outstanding. And then we go with Cinebench. Now this is outstanding. 10 runs. We have average thermals, 77.2 degrees. Clock speed is 4990. And well, this is interesting because I do have to mention it started at 26,394. Eventually it reached 26,902. But when we take all the 10 runs on average, we get 26,761. To be honest, as I stated in one of my past videos, if the case doesn't have a proper airflow, you can have an amazing cooler and it won't perform properly, right? And you won't get the maximum performance out of your GPU, out of your processor. In this scenario, we have an outstanding case, we have an outstanding AIO, and everything performs nice and quiet. That's just how BeQuiet actually works. So in those terms, what I can say is this is a huge thumbs up. If you actually liked the Lightbase 600 or 900, but they were too bigger, and that's their philosophy behind this case. They were listening to you guys. Some of you wanted, of course, I can't say for all of you guys, but some of you wanted a smaller 600 or 900, whatever. You got 500 LX, which is brilliant. The side angled fans are really doing their job properly, and I'm really digging the whole configuration. Compactness, space for cables, and just top notch case. And as I stated, and I'm going to repeat myself because I really wanted to give you that note, the top part where you mount the AIO is really flexible, and be very careful so you don't bend it. It is held properly with the tempered glass on front because it's reinforced with the steel on the side, but when you remove the tempered glass, you actually don't have to remove it whatsoever because everything is straightforward and open right here. But just in case, guys, I really wanted to give you heads up. Regardless of that, I'm going to give it a PC Crazy approved badge. Quite logical, right? Because I enjoyed building inside and everything all together. But there's one more badge that I want to give, and that is PC Crazy Performance Badge, because this case actually does perform outstandingly good. I'm really digging the thermals performance in Cinebench with this CPU, and comparing it to everything else that I had, that just brilliant. So in that sense, I'm leaving the Pure Loop 3 LX Link 360 in the description below, but mainly because it pairs up quite nicely with the star of this video. This was a Lightbase 500 LX, which comes with 4 pre-installed fans, so you only have to add 3 at the bottom. That's it, guys. Really enjoyed this one, and I'm quite surprised, even though I saw it at Gamescom, and I didn't had that impression that it would be so good. And now I'm confirming it. It's really good. Guys, check it out. If you're looking for a new case, this is definitely a warm recommendation from my side. So in that sense, I'll wrap it up. That's it for today. If you're new to the channel and you like the content in general, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button for the video, and eventually hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. And that'll be all for today. Thank you for sticking by, and see you next time. Cheers.